We will look at static IP versus dynamic IP and how internet connectivity works in a simple network. A static IP is set manually, doesn't change after reboot, and is best for server. Example, right here we have 192.168.1.254. A dynamic IP is given automatically by DHCP, may change over time, and is suitable for client devices. Example, 192.168.1.10. In our setup, the Linux server connects to the internet through internet wipe and to the internal network through internet 2. It can access both internet and internal devices. The Linux client connect only to the internal network, gets its IP from the server DHCP, and cannot reach the internet unless routine or NAT is configured. So, the server acts as the bridge between the internet and internal network, while the client depends on the server for connectivity. DHCP stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. DHCP automatically assigns IP address to client devices, reducing manual configuration and minimizing network error. The DHCP settings are configured in the file, so we write this command and then it will be like this. Okay, this we want when we want to read again the output. Okay, so here what we write in coding. Okay, so to verify that DHCP service is running correctly, we use this command, and then this is the output. This allow client to obtain IP address and network setting automatically without manual configuration. In this testing step, we check if the client get an IP from the DHCP server and if the connection work. First, we run this command. So the output show the client receive 192.168.1.6 from the 192.168.1.254, meaning the DHCP is working. Okay, the reason we get this one instead of this one because DHCP assign the next available IP in the pool depending on list history and availability. Next, we test connectivity with pin 192.168.1.254. The reply show no packet loss and low response time, confirming the client can communicate with the server. So both the DHCP and the network connection are working correctly.
Assalamu alaikum, Doctor. I'm Mehdi Hassan from Nexus Group. In this mini project, my part is SFTP part. So now you can see my PDF in here, and I write everything, a report with the screenshot, upload, download, everything is here. And now I already make a PowerPoint. Now I am going to show my PowerPoint. This is my PowerPoint. Your first question, if I see, so your first question is this one. Explain uses of SFTP, how testing is beginning done, show upload and show download. So this is your four questions. So what is SFTP? Now I am going to explain SFTP. What is SFTP? SFTP's full form is Source File Transfer Protocol. Is used to secretly transfer file between a silent and a server thought and a SSH connection. This time, the source file upload, source file download, remote file management data, and safe communication of our networks we are using there. And how testing was controlled, you can, if you see my PDF, so you can see there. And this is our project overview, and this is rail part. So if I go my PDF, so you can see screen 6. I mean, screenshot 6. If you see screenshot 6, this is 6. This is the part. Jail setup is also there, and SS demo policy. So SS demo policy, if you see my PDF in section 4, I mean screenshot 4, so this is the demo policy, how I do upload, download, running, everything is here. You can see there, this is the SSH part. I just write and everything is here, active running, all are here. SSH part. And also access check is here, binary boundary is also there. And now I am showing to live demo how I am complete my download and upload part. So this is my terminal. Now I am going to show you my download part. If I write download part, you can see. Oh, this is the whole pseudocode is here, how I done, you can see. Now I am going to write here um, download test. Okay. So ECHO is this is this is my first code and this is the second code. SFTP student one, this is my ID, as well as I'm a local host. Now you can see my download part. I mean, now I should write pwd. Yes. Now is less sftp demo mm, get sftp get sftp demo download dot. Now I am showing my upload part. Dot, dot. Look, it's already, you can see downloaded the text and uploaded already both done. Now sftp now put dot, dot, text sheet. So now you can see this is my uploaded part. That is the result. And now I write bye. So it's already closed. Thank you for Thank you very much, Doctor, for watching my demo part. You can see this is my upload part and this is my download part is also here. Also, my name is here. This is my upload part. This is my download part. Doctor, you can see this is my download part. When I writing this one, it's working, and this is the result. And this is the upload part. When I write, this is shipped upload test, and you can see the result. And this is 100% 25, and this is the KVs. So thank you very much for watching my demo.
For my part, I implemented the web server service using Aperture 2. Aperture 2 is an open source web server used to host web page and web application. First, I updated the package repository using the command sudo apt update. Then, I installed Aperture 2 using sudo apt installer install Aperture 2 -y. After the installation, I checked the service status using sudo systemctl status Aperture 2. As shown in the screenshot, the status is active, which means the Aperture 2 service is running successfully. After the web server was successfully installed and configured, I performed testing to verify that the service was working correctly. First, I checked the server IP address using the IPA command. The server IP address is 10.200.107.143. Next, I edit the index.html file located in the /var/www/html directory and created a custom web page. The web page contains the message "This is my project and my web server is running successfully." Finally, I enter the server IP address into a web browser. As shown in the screenshot, the web page was displayed successfully. This confirmed that the Aperture 2 web server is working properly and that the client can access the web server service provided by the server. Therefore, the web server configuration and testing was complete successfully. After the web server was successfully installed and configured, I performed testing to verify that the service was working correctly. First, I checked the server IP address using the IPA command. The server IP address is 10.200.107.143. Next, I edit the index.html file located in the /var/www/html directory and created a custom web page.
My name is Prince Kelvin Kayode. I am a member of Nexus, and this is my own part of presentation in the mini projects of operating system. So I'll be explaining my part. I'll be explaining the part of database service, how how to actually install, step by step configuration of how to install, how to how to actually integrate the database service in the Linux program. So I'll be going straight to my part right now. Okay. So here we are. So first of all, what is a database service? In my, a database service is simply a storage or a place whereby data is being stored. So in the process whereby you're actually storing data inside the Linux system, into the Linux program, it's simply by you actually using the Linux program to store data. You store data being like names, businesses. You can use the database service to store your business your business data, like the name of the customer, date when the customer actually purchased the product, etc. So you can actually use the database service to do many things inside the Linux system. So before actually using the Linux system to integrate anything, you have to actually install the database program inside the Linux system. In this program, we are gonna be using MariaDB. So MariaDB is actually one of the database program all over the world. So we're gonna be integrating it using the MariaDB. We're gonna be using MariaDB in our Linux program to integrate the database. So first of all we first the first thing we first do is actually to update our Linux software. So first we do the sudo apt update. What this actually does, it actually updates the system to know if the system is actually up to date. Before installing any software, you have to make sure your system is up to date. Just like our phones, we see time to time we have updates to update our phone to be able to for the system to be compatible with other software. So first of all, we first do the sudo apt update. So what it actually does, like I said earlier, it updates the system. So next thing you actually do, you input this command sudo apt install MariaDB server-wide. So what it actually does, it actually goes to the internet and installs the MariaDB inside your Linux program, inside your Linux system. So it installs it. So this is actually the installation process. So this is actually what you will see when you actually input inputs this code or this command. So when you do that, it actually installs it inside the system. It installs it installs the program inside the system. So next thing you have to do is to secure the installation. You secure the installation by using this command sudo mysql secure installation. So what it actually does is secure, make sure the installation is complete, make sure the installation is secure. Next thing, you configure the network binding. Configuring the network binding, this is to ensure that the database is only accessible to everyone in the private network. That is, it won't be accessible to the public. Only the people around your business or organization. So only the people that are only allowed to access the database can be able to access it. No other person. So this actually helps secure it. So you first you put in this command sudo nano slash etc slash mysql slash mariadb dot conf so and dot d slash 50 dash server dot cnf. So what it does is actually what you see once you do that. So it's actually secure. You actually this is what actually what you see. Then after you see this, you first then you type bind address 190. This is actually your IP address. So it actually that simply means that people that are only allowed to access the database are only people that actually are using this IP, this particular IP. And we all know that IP isn't something that everyone can actually access. It's actually like a individual how do I put it, like an ID, just like we have as a worker or a student, we have our own ID card, like our matric card. So that's what the job of IP actually does. It's like an identity. It's like an identity for your database. I mean, sorry, for your computer or for your phones. So it's like if you check your phones, all devices actually has an IP, a particular IP. So this actually secures the program, secures your database that is so that it cannot be accessible to others. So when you do that, you bind the rest, then you close the file. So you close the file. After closing the file, you have to restart the MariaDB. You restart and enable the service to be able to import, to be able to actually access the database. So to actually restart the MariaDB, you have to input this command sudo system control restart MariaDB. So when you do that, the whole system restarts, the whole MariaDB restarts, then you can be able to proceed in the database. So next thing you actually do, you you actually have to enable the MariaDB to be able to use the MariaDB. You have to enable it. You have to enable it. You have to enable the MariaDB. So to enable the MariaDB, you have to type this command sudo systemctl enable MariaDB. So this actually enables the MariaDB to start working. So next thing you actually do, so when you actually enable the MariaDB, this is actually the output you see, synchronizing state of MariaDB with SYSB service script. So it actually enables the MariaDB, the software, to be able to work. So next thing you actually do is to create the database. Since your database is now working fine, you can now create a database. You can now create a database in the MariaDB with your Linux server. So this is the next thing you actually do. So first you have to actually log in as an administrative. You have to log in as an administrative. So to log in as an administrative, you have to use this command. And if you notice, if you watch, look at this screenshot, you see that once you put in this command, you will actually be required to input a password. You will be required to input a password. So this is actually showing you that the database is secured. No other person can actually access it. Now, the next thing you actually do is to create your database. To create your database. So when you have installed your database in your system, you have done all the necessary steps, you have to now create your database. So that means the software is actually in your system. So the next thing you actually create the database. First you create the database. So to create the database, you actually input this command, create database BAX, create data. So the name of our database actually Baxu Company, BAXU Company. So you have to actually put this command, then it's actually created. So once you put this command, you see query okay, that is the database is created, one will affected 0.0, that means the database has been created successfully. So the next thing you actually do is to create the user. Creating the users actually means you are creating the people that actually can actually be able to access the database. So you create the user group name at 198, that is your IP, then identified by secure password. That means actually securing the database that it can only be accessed by people that choose that are only in this IP, only in this IP address. Then after that you see the successful. This actually message means that it's actually successful. You can all privileges. This actually after you have secured the password needs to actually grant all grant all privileges. So that means all input this is actually giving the access because actually earlier what we did earlier when we actually securing the MariaDB, we did it so only we personally can be able to access it. Now when you do this, now people that actually be able to integrate the IP in their system or device can be able to also access the database. Sorry. So the next thing, you flush the privileges. This flushing privileges is actually a step in exiting the program. Then you exit. So this is basically just it. So it's actually quite complex, but also simple. So this is just how you create your database, integrate it, your installation process, and etc. So thank you for having me. My name is Prince Kayodugo Kayode again. Matric number B15251038. Thank you for having me, and this will be all. Thank you. Okay, so after actually installing the database program, testing, inputting your database, making sure you have actually entered the data, enter the data into the database, into the MariaDB, everything, creating and all the rest. The next thing you have to actually do is to test if it actually works. So that's why we are moving into the testing procedure right now. So how do you test? How do you know that the data is actually inside the program? How do you know? So this is what we are actually moving into right now. So first, you have to actually confirm that the database is active and listening exclusively on the internal network. So how do you do that? So first thing, you actually have to input this command sudo systemctl status mariadb. First you do that, then after when you do that, you will see this actually will come out. You can see over here the command. So after you do that, this is actually the output you get. So how do you know in this output, how do you know that it's actually working? You will see this line on line 3, okay, sorry, line 4, you see it active running. This actually shows that the database is actually working. The database is working. So that actually is one of the one of the things in the to-do list that shows that the database is working. So we first put in this command, then we get this. As you see, as we have seen that the database is active and running. So next thing we have to do to is to check to check if the database is actually the data we actually inputted in the database is actually there. So this is actually what we do. We input this command sudo lsof minus dash I colon 3306. So when you put in that, this is the output you get. So you see command P user FG type device size of node name MariaDB 547 SQL 19U IPv4 1335 13555 0TO TCP MySQL listing. So it actually shows that the database is active. So the next thing is to show the data. Remember earlier we actually inputted some data into the database. So we want to actually show the tables. We want to show the entities that is actually working, that the data is actually existing. Now we have tested that if the database is working. What we are actually testing here is if the software is actually working, if it's actually active, if it's actually gonna do the job for us. So the next thing we have to actually put in place now, the next thing we have to actually check is the data. If the data we actually inputted into the system is actually there. So this is actually how we do it. So test two is that is where we come to test two. Test two showing database. So confirming that the database created exists, like I said earlier, we have to check if the data we actually inputted actually exists inside the MariaDB. To use the command, you have to put in sudo mysql minus dash u root my dash p space e minus e, then double colon double quote, sorry, show database. Then you put in your column at the end. So when you do that, you are gonna get this. So you can see over here to show that our data actually exists inside the system. So you can see there the table name is called database. Then you can see the attributes inside the table. So let's actually go back to when we actually inputted the details in the table. So you can see over here when we actually created the table, you can see all the everything that was there. So you can see that actually linking to what the table is showing us. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you. Thank you, and have a blessed day or evening. Thank you.
What happens if the HTTP is not used in a network?
Without the HTTP, IP address must be assigned manually, which take more time and can cause configuration errors.
Okay, another question. What is the benefit of automatic IP address assessment?
It saves time, reduce manual work, and helps prevent IP address conflict between devices.
Yeah, so I'm going to be asking you questions too. So, first question is, what is the full form of SFTP and which TCP port does it use?
So first question is what is the full form? The full form is SSH File Transfer Protocol. This is the full form, and it operates one TCP port 22. And your second question is dictionary X, okay?
Yeah.
So the star and you can slash r and SFTP slash BXU share the dictionary X to the root slash inside the SFTP session. That is the answer. Okay.
What is the purpose of index.html?
It is a default web page displayed when user access the web server.
What will happen if Aperture 2 service is stopped?
The web page cannot be accessed because the web page server is not longer running.
The first question is how do you create a database table and insert data? And my second question is how do you create a user with limited permission and test it?
Okay, so we first create a user named school. So that is like an entity where the articles will actually fit in. Then next, you create a user report who can only read the data in the program or in the database, and also not delete. So this actually is called the least privilege. Then you can now log in as a user to test the program or the database.